So I had another beautiful, amazing trigger recently where it showed me so clearly how I don't prefer to be so that I can see with even more clarity how I do prefer to be, which is, the entire point of triggers, so they can show you these behaviors you're still holding on to, which is essentially, of course, stem from, belief systems that you're holding on to that do not serve you. But for me, it was a social interaction. And it was with this one guy who, basically was talking to me. He was interested in my perspective on life and things. And, he's trying to get to hang out. And I was noticing, first of all, just the interesting subtleties in how I'm still, being kind of awkward. Not really just being in my body, being in the moment, kind of just having this like, I better get this right kind of energy. I better not, mess this up. I better not look weird or whatever. I better do this in a way that, I'm good enough for them, and I'm, a good social person, and, I don't know. And it's not like I'm consciously thinking any of this, but this is basically the what's going on subconsciously, I guess you could say, within me, where it's like all these things that I'm trying to be good enough, which is again a reflection of my past. So I mean, if you're resonating with doing these kinds of things, if you're ever feeling like you're awkward, you know recognize that that's not really you. Like if you're awkward and it's like, oh, you have social anxiety, what I've learned from me personally, I mean, that's just not me. That's not me. You can be someone who is, you don't have to be a social butterfly, but you can be someone who is chill and relaxed, because this social awkwardness or social anxiety, or just feeling weird, you might not be completely aware of it, but it isn't you. It simply isn't. You might sit there and assign yourself, oh, that's just me. I'm just an awkward person. I'm just a person with social anxiety. No, that's copping out. So you don't have to look at the belief. So you don't have to let it go. But personally, I've been going through a lot, and I mean a lot, of very powerful transformation in a subtle way, in a low key way. It's been much more of an internal transformation, and I've been becoming just more and more aware of my old behaviors, which is, a beautiful opportunity to change them, to let them go, to look at them, not in the sense of like, oh, I need to get this away from me. I need to stop. This is bad and wrong, and I need to stop doing. No, not like that. Just recognizing, hey, this protected me in a sort of sense in the past. It served me. I believed that it served me in the past, and now I'm kind of changing how I do things. I'm changing how I want to be. I'm recognizing, I don't have to put up these barriers and be so strange. But like, that's how I felt in this interaction with this person, where I could tell that, I'm putting off this low key frequency of just not quite feeling right. I could tell almost intuitively that they were sort of picking up on it. And it's just like a telepathic thing, a telepathy thing, But it was interesting because it's like, I know I can be socially chill because I have other people in my life and I'm chill with them, relaxed, grounded in my body. But it's just like this opportunity presented itself because it was a brand new person. I haven't had really necessarily, new people in my life in a while. But it was, I don't know, it's hard to describe how it was different, but it wasn't different, But it was essentially just a beautiful opportunity to see this within myself. And then, of course, I noticed another thing is like how I have this kind of customer voice with people sometimes. Like right now I'm talking to you in my normal voice. It's grounded, it's, lower. But sometimes I might be like, higher pitched and be like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? Or see you guys later. It's like this seeking approval voice. And that kind of a voice makes sense, of course, in a work environment. You're just talking to customers in a sense. And but I feel like not necessarily in a social setting when it comes from that neediness for approval, or not trying to screw it up, not trying to, I don't know, just trying to be nice instead of trying to be me, I guess is the best way to say it. But basically, it was an interesting and powerful moment, and we were like, oh, let's hang out, and that's great and all. I'm like, okay, here's a great opportunity for me to open up more, to socialize with someone brand new, to experience a little bit of a different side of life. And so I'm like excited, right? And I'm all like looking forward to it. And, seeing as how that experience went, I'm like, okay, let's do this more. Let's really look at this, how I interact, how I kind of shift my frequency depending on who I'm around or where I'm around. Because, obviously, if I'm sitting around at home just chilling, then, it's easy to be me when there's not any of these quote unquote fear factors, going on where I'm like, oh, I feel the need to be guarded or whatever. I need to change. I need to, put on this protective mask, not be the real me in order to not look like a fool or not, look weird or awkward or different or embarrassing or, lose the approval of somebody, be looked down on, all reflections of my conditioning from my past. And I was looking forward to the hangout. And then something else happened that really was another beautiful, triggering moment. Another amazing moment for me to really, really look at an intense trigger and to, really see what it is, what belief systems I'm still kind of deciding to believe serve me. Because oftentimes, I feel like a lot of times triggers are fairly chill, fairly sort of, inconsequential, if you will. They're just like, oh, I'm feeling an emotion. And then sometimes triggers are intense and powerful, and they cause this cascade of self-worth issues from your past, things you used to believe about yourself, things you used to tell yourself, to just come crashing down like a waterfall on your head. And that's what happened to me. Because, what had happened is the guy, texted me and he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to reschedule. And so, I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. And then I allowed it to basically trigger me, to get me to go back into this old mentality. And it really wasn't about the moment itself. It wasn't about the guy. It wasn't about anything with this now moment. It's about what the moment represented to me and what it triggered within me. So, maybe this has happened to you where you've had your moments and you got, sucked right back into this old version of yourself. And it felt heavy and intense and powerful and like something just extremely negative where you're not being your true self. But it dug up things of the past of like, oh, it's just like, oh, it's like close but no cigar. It's like, oh, I had this opportunity to take a different fork and, do something a little bit different in life. And there it goes. It's gone. It's almost like, life is saying, oh, it's not going to happen for you. You just got to stay still and be in this low vibe where things aren't happening for you and just this meager little lifestyle. So, it's like digging up all that nonsense again, because I've had experiences where things, seemed to happen and then they didn't quite. And it was like almost this expectation of shifting in my life, taking a different path, doing something differently, an opportunity that fell flat, and then it's just like, oh, it's not meant for me. I'm meant to just sit here in my room and waste away and do whatever nonsense. Just waste my life playing video games, never go out, never socialize, never do anything with myself. Might as well just succumb to it. And it's almost like this protective thing, that's why I believe it serves me, this negative pattern, because it's like I associated hope with pain. And so it's like, oh, I might as well just accept a life of mediocrity and nothingness because that feels like it has more agency or comfort or safety than sitting there and hoping and believing in something that might change or whatever have you. Because I associated this feeling of, I don't know, anticipation with failure. So it's like, that interesting layer of self-protection. That's why I say about, when you're doing something you don't prefer to do, really to look at, how does this serve me? How do I believe it serves me? What is it protecting me from? What pain, what fear, what old response is this protecting me from? Because that's usually what a lot of times negative emotions are. It's a protection layer. It's guarding you against something. It's giving you a bit more of either comfort or safety or agency over something else, maybe a bit of powerlessness. And so that's where it's a really great opportunity to look at those triggers. So it was a great opportunity for me, and thankfully this time it was even shorter than more times previously when I had spiraled into this negativity loop of self-deprecation and self-worth issues. It was so much shorter than it ever has been. And it was, it wasn't like I was immediately better. That is something you can do, is just jump into joy. You can just shift into a preferred state immediately, or you can take your time and go through a process, and that's what I did. I went through a process, but I'm here now. I'm on the other side of that. And so that's why I wanted to share it with you, because, I know there's so many people out there that like just have things happen to them and get triggered or whatever else, and then they let the negative side talk. They let this negative belief system tell them all these things about how you're not good enough, how it's not going to happen for you, how you're going to stay small, how things are not going to change, because the belief system does not want you looking at it. It doesn't want you to find it. Its job is to perpetuate itself. So it's going to use everything in its toolkit to get you to continue to believe in it, to believe that you're not good enough, to believe that you're small, to believe that you're socially awkward, to believe that you have anxiety, to believe that your life is going to be mediocre, to believe that you're not going to experience great things. It's going to keep using all the tools. It's going to use every power in its arsenal to get you to buy back into it. And that's the sign that you're close to finding it and letting it go. To really seeing that core belief for how flimsy and nonsensical it really is. Because the closer you are to letting it go, is the louder it's going to scream in your face about all these negative things and yada, 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 getting you to buy back into it. So that's really what I'm here to share with you. If you're feeling like you've been in a negative spiral, just let it be. It's okay. The negative emotions are telling you something. The intensity of the pain is telling you that you are buying into something that is not in congruency with who you are. That's why it's painful. So, I know you can do this. I know you can let go. It's about not shoving it away, but looking at it, shining a light on it, letting it be, allowing and honoring it. And that's it. So, that's basically all I got for you today. And thank you so much for watching.